I've got dog toys in front of me. Let me get rid of those. And we're not going to play. I'm just throwing them to you. All right. So for our practice today, we will be using our 2 blocks, our yoga strap, the massage ball, the little small ball. Always helpful to have a blanket, especially if you have sensitive knees. Today we're going to do some things on our knees, so I do recommend extra padding if your knees are sensitive. And always know that you can have a chair nearby. I like to have a chair nearby, so for sitting on in the beginning of practice, if sitting on the floor isn't comfortable for you, or if we do any standing poses where you feel like having a little extra balance support would be helpful, please feel free to have that chair nearby. Just make sure that your chair doesn't have wheels and that you're not on a hard surface. Okay. All right. So finding a comfortable seated position. You can look around the space that you are in right now and just notice where you are. Notice what's around you. Take in your environment, which will help you to arrive with awareness. And then start to bring your senses inward to the way your body feels as it's sitting, whatever's underneath you. Feel your sits bones. You can rock from side to side a little bit and feel those bones at the bottom of your tush. Maybe rock forward and back. Find what feels like center for you. So if you were a seed planted in a pot, then you would be just right in the middle of that pot, and your spine is like just a little tender shoot, a little tender flower, let's say, just kind of growing up and out of the pot. So feel the spine get a little longer. Let your shoulders rest down your back and your hands rest somewhere that feels comfortable for you. And as your body gets settled, take a deep breath in through the nose and fill up your belly area first, and then the ribs and the chest. And let out either an ah, like a sigh, if that's what you need today, or you can breathe in and purse your lips and let out a nice slow exhale through the mouth, like you're blowing gently on a birthday candle, but you're not going to blow the candle out. You're just going to affect that flicker. So this morning, our practice, or if you're watching the video, whatever time you're watching, we're going to practice a meditation, a metta or loving-kindness meditation, and think of it as planting seeds in honor of spring, which has sprung. So in honor of spring, we're going to cultivate seeds of compassion and love and mercy and peace, and we're going to cultivate those inside of us, and then we're going to also send those out, those seeds, just like a dandelion, just blow them out into the world. So that would be the intention that I invite you to have for this meditation. There are some simple body movements that go with it. You're welcome to follow along if you'd like. So bringing both hands over your heart, we're just feeling the weight of your hands and the temperature of your skin. And take a breath right into that space that's under your hands, into the heart. Notice whatever is happening for you today, whatever you're feeling. And we say, may I receive love. Ahava. May I receive love. Leave one hand on your heart and bring the other hand to your belly, connecting now to that lower part of the abdomen as you breathe. May I receive mercy. Rachamim. May I receive mercy. Bring your hands out in front of you with the palms up, like you're holding a platter to serve something. And feel the palms up, feel it tingling in your fingers. May I receive loving kindness, chesed. May I receive loving kindness. And then bring the hands together in prayer at your heart. May I have peace. Shalom. May I have peace. And bringing the palms again over the heart, hand over hand, connecting again to your heart. And this time we intend to send these qualities out into the world. Maybe there's one person or a group of people or just the whole global family, choosing your recipient or recipients. And we say, may you receive love. May you receive love. One hand drops to the belly, other hand on the heart. May you receive mercy, rachamim. May you receive mercy. Bring your palms out, palms up. May you receive loving kindness, chesed. May you receive loving kindness. Hands in prayer at your heart. May you have peace. Shalom. May you have peace. So we allow these seeds to be planted within our own selves, in our consciousness, in our hearts, and we share our seeds with the world. We're going to come into some movement and some warm-ups now. From your seated position, either on the floor or on a chair, we're going to inhale and reach those arms up, reach to the sky. As you exhale, take a gentle twist, bring the hands down. Inhale, reaching up, coming back to center. Exhale, twist over to the other side. On your own, connecting your full inhales with your reaching up and full exhales, emptying out completely as hands come down. Can you connect the breath and the movement so that they're synchronized? Last time. Hands come down the center line of your body on that last one. Good. So if you're on the floor, we're going to have the legs crossed, and I'll show you the chair version in a second. You can have a block if you'd like, and we're going to hinge forward till we get a little outer hip stretch. Pay attention to which leg is in front. And then we'll bring, so if the right leg is in front, you're just going to reach opposite direction with your block or your fingertips and get a little lower back and hip stretch. If you're in a chair, we're still using a block. And you're coming to the edge of your chair and you're also hinging forward. And if that feels good with a flat back, you're going to bring your block to one side, reaching out past your toes possibly, and looking for that lower back stretch and a little bit of a twist. So taking a breath in whatever shape you're in right now. Good. Keep your belly engaged. So everybody pull your navel in just a little bit. Like there's one stitch keeping your belly connected to your spine in the back. Just a little bit of activity there. And then go ahead and keep that belly activity and walk your hands over to the other side. And then engage your core to come back up. If you're sitting on the floor and you're able to switch your legs, switch the other side, the other leg in front. Good. If you're in a chair, we'll repeat the same movement. So you'll hinge forward and bring your block over to across the body so you get a lower back stretch. Just a little stretch. We're not looking for anything intense. Stitch that belly button to the spine and then come around to the other side, taking a deep breath into whatever you feel. And then come back up. Good. Okay. The next thing we're going to do can also be done in a chair. So if you're seated, you'll bring your feet out in front of you and you'll lean back on your fingertips. Watch out for slouching into your shoulders. We really want to have a lot of space in between the ears and the shoulders, the heart reaching forward. From the floor, you're going to just do these little knee downs from side to side, warming up your hips. From a chair, you will take turns holding one knee and guiding it through circles. And whatever way feels good. Maybe you want to squeeze the knee and then release it, or do circles. So listen to your body. Good. If you've got that one lift, you're in a chair with one leg, go ahead and change sides. Just preparing our body for our standing poses today. Good. And then go ahead and release. We are all going to come to hands and knees. So at this point, if you'd like to have a little blanket or towel under your knees, you can do that. The other place that a blanket or towel is helpful, if and when we come into child's pose, you can always put that under your ankles, which let your toes fall off the end, and that can give you some softness if the top of your feet feel kind of compressed. Excuse me. So we're on our hands and knees, set up for cat and cow. So those wrists are going to be right under the shoulders. Fingers are spread wide. Knees are under the hips. Your back is flat to start, so pull the belly in. Good. And then get ready to come into cow. So you're going to arch your back, lift your tailbone up, gaze toward the sky, breathe in. And then exhale, come into your cat pose, rounding the back. Think of having a suitcase handle between your shoulder blades and someone's lifting that up. Good. Tuck your tailbone, And with your breath, just moving at whatever pace feels natural for you, in and out of cat and cow. Now, if you prefer to do this on a chair, you can also sit on the edge of a chair and do a seated cat and cow, like so. We're just looking for some range of motion in the spine. Start to do a little tail wag or some circles. Can you let the weight of your head go? Create some traction in the neck and that cervical spine. Good. So from this position, we're going to come back to our tabletop. So our back is flat. We're going to lift the right leg up and back behind us. Good. Pull your navel in. Be careful not to lift your leg too high like I'm doing, because that makes your lower back kind of hang like a hammock. So we want to have as flat of a lower back as we can. Good. And just do a little pulsing action just to warm up the hips. If you want to increase the balance challenge, you can pause that leg and then lift the left arm up. Left arm, right leg reaching in opposite directions. Good. Come on down. And let's do the other side. Check those frontal hip bones. Sense if they are pointing straight down to the floor. That's what we want. You can do a little pulsing action with the leg. Just really warming up the hamstrings and the inner thighs. You can pause your pulsing if you want to add a balance element by reaching the right arm out in front of you. Good. Pull the belly in and breathe and release. Go ahead and take a child's pose of your choice. Let your head rest on the mat or a block or your hands or fists. Just letting that go. Okay. You can keep your blanket. I recommend it at this point. And we're going to go long way on the mat. So we're on the wide mat on our knees. You can have your blocks nearby. We're going to do Gait Pose. So on your knees facing forward, bring your left hand to your block as you extend your right leg out to the side. So your toes will try to point forward. Good. And then lift your right arm up and just a little lean over to the left, using that block for some support. So not hanging out on it. We just want to have it there to keep us elevated. Good. This is Gait Pose. Bring your hand down, and this is optional. I'm going to show you what's possible. This is just to warm up our muscles. You can use that block to lean into a little bit more and lift your right leg off the floor a little bit. It only needs to come up like an inch, or you can try to bring it up really high. So we're hitting these glute muscles, and when our glutes are strong, we have better balance. So you're going to lift your right leg if you want to, or you can just stay in your Gait Pose. And if you're lifting your leg, feel the heat that quickly builds in that glute muscle. You can lift the leg and reach up. It's your choice. All right, release. I totally felt that. I wonder if you felt that. When we're together in person, one day, I will know, because I will hear the groans. All right, so we're going to take the other side. So the block is on the right. I'm going to shift your weight to the right knee and extend the leg out to the side. Pull the belly in. Reach the left arm up and over, getting a nice long side body stretch. You can stay here, or you can bring your hand to your hip and lean into that right knee even more and lift the left leg with the foot flexed. Notice if you do that, if your belly just kind of softened, you want to keep it engaged. Maybe add the arm. Whatever works for you today, whatever works for your body. Good, release. Very nice. We're gonna remove the blanket from our mat. Keep the blocks handy. Keep them at the top of your mat. And we're gonna use our massage ball now and our straps, so get those. Let's do a little massage on the feet. Or if you aren't using a ball, you can sit on the chair and just work on your feet with your knuckles and thumbs. Let's work the right foot first. So we're going to be doing a couple of standing poses, including tree, a balance pose. So think about how you want to work on the foot to get it ready to think of spreading out the roots so the roots can grow into the earth. Any sore spots, it's great to pause on those and just soften your foot and take a few breaths. Find your breath. And release that side. And go ahead and work on the left side now. So make sure that your standing leg is soft behind the knee. So you're not locking the standing leg out. The ball is close to your body, so you're not reaching your leg way out to massage it. You've got the ball close. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Take another few breaths with whatever you're working on right now. And release. You can place your ball off to the side and grab your strap. Okay, put your strap, just hang it around your neck for now, because I want to do one thing before we do strap exercises. Good. So we're going to bring the arms out in a T position and the palms are facing down. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears and pull the tips of your shoulder blades, the bottom of your shoulder blades, toward each other. Good. Keeping the shoulders and the scapula, the shoulder blades where they are, we're going to internally rotate the arms. So the thumbs are going to come down as far as you can, comfortably. And then we're going to externally rotate the palms up and as back as you can. And just do that a few times. You'll be amazed how quickly this builds heat and feels like a workout. It can go slow. Keep checking in with your shoulder blades and your shoulders themselves and make sure they're down away from your ears. Breathe. Good. Waking up those muscles before we ask them to do stuff for us, right? And then let your arms float down. Shake that out. Okay, so one of the upper arm positions that we do is part of cow face pose, which is called Gomukhasana. And we're not doing cow face pose, but we're going to do the upper body part. So we take our strap, bring it over the right shoulder, like you're patting yourself on the back with your right side, and then take your left arm, bring it out to the side like we did just a second ago. Turn your thumbs down, turn your one thumb down, internally rotate, and then bring it back behind you. And grab hold of that strap. And then just start to walk your hands toward each other. Don't expect your hands to touch. Sometimes people's fingertips can hold on to each other, and most of the time not. So what tends to happen when we try to work our hands toward each other is we arch our back because we just naturally want to find that path of least resistance. So as you're holding your strap, hug your right elbow toward your ear and make sure that the left shoulder is down away from the ear. And then pull your belly in and imagine that your rib cage could just shift back a little bit more over your hips if you feel like you're flaring your rib cage forward. So looking for a tricep stretch on the right, a front of the shoulder stretch on the left. Go Mukhasana, so cow face. Good, and just slide your hands down the strap, shake out your arms, and we'll do the other side. Pat yourself on the back with your left hand, holding onto that strap. Right arm comes out to the side, point the thumb down, and then come back to grab hold of that strap. And then just work your fingers down and up the strap as close as you can without losing the integrity of your spine. Elbows, left elbow's close to the ear, right shoulder is down, knees are soft, and breathe. And slowly release your grip and slide your hands down your strap. Shake out your shoulders, whatever you need to do to release any tension that's there. And then you can move your strap off to the side. We're going to come into some standing poses. So you'll want to have your blocks at the top of your mat. We're going to take Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So right foot is forward. And the back leg is turned inward slightly. The front heel lines up with the back arch. Okay. And then you can bend your knee as much as you're comfortable bending it. You can always keep that bend very, very light if you have any knee challenges, but when you do bring it down deeply, press your knee toward your second and third toe. Keep your knee pressing outward. Bring your arms into Warrior 2 pose. And then we'll take the modified version with cow face arms. So take your right hand, pat yourself on the back. Bring your left hand behind you just like we did with the strap. And this time you don't have the strap and it's okay. Just place your hands wherever they land and have that memory, the muscle tissue memory of what it felt like to squeeze the right elbow toward the ear and the left shoulder down. And come into your Warrior 2. And to feel the constriction of this pose in the upper body. You might even think of it as a flower that's just a bud that hasn't blossomed yet. Breathe. And then we're going to start to let it unfold. So start to straighten your front leg and then straighten both of your arms. Your left hand's going to land on your back thigh. Your right hand's going to reach up to the sky. Breathe here. And then bend your front knee again. Come back into your cow face arms. Back into that tight bud of a flower. Breathe. And as you exhale, unfurl those petals, straighten the front leg, lift the top arm, reach the back arm back. That's beautiful, beautiful. And then just keep the front leg straight and just bring your arms back into a T position. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Think of bringing the tips of your shoulder blades together again. We're going to slide our right hand out past our toes until you feel like you can't go any farther, and then you're going to come into triangle pose. This is where your block is really helpful. You can have a block as an extension of your arm, behind your ankle or your calf, or even in front. Pull the belly in. So we're warmed up in our obliques from that kneeling side plank thing we did. Good. Take a breath. Feel your feet rooted, right? Rooted into the earth. and the whole upper body is growing up toward the sun. And then bend the front knee just enough so that you can press into that foot and float back up. Very nice. Okay, we're going to take that sequence on the other side. So you're going to step your left foot forward, keep your block with you. Front heel to back arch alignment. Turn the back leg inward a bit. When you feel stable here, you can open up your arms into warrior two. Good. And then other side of cow face pose. So the left hand's going to pat you on the back. The right thumb's going to turn down and reach back behind you. Pull the belly in. Same thing here. So we don't want to flare those ribs forward. We want to pull the ribs to sit right over the hips. And breathe here. Feeling the potential that lives inside of you. And then start to reach up to the sky, straighten the front knee, hold the back thigh, reach to the sun, to the heavens. Come back into a bent knee, cow face pose, come back into that flower bud. Breathe. And then create some freedom here by straightening the front leg, reaching up to the sky. Pivot those arms back into a T shape. Look down, make sure your block is there. We're going to shift our upper body forward over the toes and then pivot those arms. Find your block. Your right arm will reach up overhead. And then also just make sure you're not hyperextending that straight left knee. You want to have a little bend in it if you tend to hyperextend. Breathe here. Planted in the earth, reaching up to the sky. Bend the front knee and press into your foot to lift yourself up. Very good. All right, we're going to come back to standing here. You can move your block out of the way and just release all of that with a few twists. Gentle twist, let your arms be really heavy. Good. All right, we're going to take our tree pose. I'm going to bring my chair nearby as an example, and always have the chair if you prefer. So we're going to start with the left foot as our standing foot, standing leg, and bring the right foot somewhere inside of the left leg, not on the knee joint, either below or above, and even your toes can even stay on the floor for a little extra stability. So choose your position, and if you're able to, bring both hands together at your heart and press them into each other kind of firmly. And think of a lot of the oak trees that we see around they were really dry, and then they suddenly had these tight little buds that were still brown, and then boom, suddenly they burst into these gorgeous green leaves. So I want you to imagine that the upper body here is like that tight little bud, but your strength is coming from your trunk and your lower body. And then start to lift the palms up. It's okay if you fall out of it or if you wiggle. It's all right. Trees blow in the wind all the time. So you're gonna lift, 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 and then start to spread your fingers apart from each other. Come into the full blossom of an oak tree, and even rotate your hands so that your palms face away from you. Just feeling alive with new warmth and vitality. And then start to let your branches come down, shake out that standing leg. And then we'll take the other side. Now, if you're using the chair, I should have said this before, but if you're using the chair and keeping one hand on it, you can do all of those same movements with your intention, just missing the arm. The arm is being a stabilizer, but you can still do all the movements with the other arm. So finding, let's see, it's our right leg, that's our standing leg now. Finding the base of your tree pose. Gazing at something that is not moving, and press your palms together. Find that bud on the tree. Squeeze your standing thighs so that your trunk feels strong and stable. And then as you're ready, start to lift those palms up overhead till they go as high as you can get them. And then start to spread the palms away from each other, and then the palms face out as if you're just sharing your bounty, sharing your gifts with all those around you. Keep breathing, and then slowly let the branches come down and step out of your tree pose. Just shake out your legs, whatever you need to do. We're going to open the legs really wide now, so you might want your blocks for this. I have a variation that you can do if you want to today. So the legs are really wide and the toes are pointed forward. I have my block here in the middle. So first we'll just come into our prasarita, wide angle forward fold here, wide-legged. So you're going to hinge, come down, either to hands on the floor or to your block. Watch out for those knees not hyperextending. You want to squeeze the quadriceps, squeeze your thigh muscles, and you'll feel your kneecaps kind of lift up, which frees the hamstrings. And breathe here. Become aware of your back, the shape of your back in this pose. Now this is an option, so if you have any lower back sensitivity, you would want to either avoid this or take it really slowly. You have the option to walk your hands out a little more in front of you, like straight arms. And maybe even reaching over to your left a little bit. I am stabilizing with one hand and moving the block with the other. And then placing both hands on the blocks again. So it's a little bit like the seated stretch we did in the beginning when we had our legs crossed and we were reaching across the body. If you're choosing this option, you might even press into the right hip a little bit more and reach more with the right arm. And then bring your right hand in front of you to stabilize you if you are in that twist, and then bring the block and set it over to the other side. So just, don't move both arms at the same time. And then maybe taking that reach over to the right. Listen to your body. So you are the boss of your body. You know what you can do, what feels safe to you. If you are choosing to stay in your forward fold, that is great. There's tons of benefit to that as well. We're going to take one more breath if you're in this variation, and then we're going to come back to center and then press into your block till your back is straight, and then heel toe your feet together and come on up nice and slow. Good, very nice. We're going to come down to our mats now. Have your block nearby, both of your blocks, and your blanket, and your chair if you like to use your chair for Savasana. And come onto your back and just Give your knees a squeeze. And then place your feet on the floor. Bring a block between your thighs. So I want to make sure that our feet are aligned with, or like the middle of our ankles are aligned with our knees. So I know that's hard to tell, but sometimes people's feet are out to the sides a little too much. That's usually the adjustment we need to make. So you want to keep your heels close to your bottom. Squeeze the block with your knees. Good. And then when you're ready, you'll press into your feet and lift your spine up off the floor. And feel the activation of the back of your body here. Press into your feet, opening up the front of the body here. Palms can be by your sides, palm up. If you want to wiggle your shoulders under your body for another version of bridge pose, you can. Not necessary. Keep lifting your hips and lower down. Rest here. Take a breath to prepare. Inhale, and then exhale, press into your feet, lift up the hips. Squeeze your block and start to lower down slowly. Very good. And then you can remove the block now. And this time bring your knees in toward your chest, but open them up so that you can take a little happy baby. You can, if it's accessible, you can reach for your feet or your ankles. But holding onto your shins is just fine. Just let the knees be open and rock from side to side. And bring your knees back together. Put the feet back on the floor. We're gonna press into our thighs. So your palms are gonna be on your upper thighs. We want to do this really slow. So the knees are bent, feet are on the floor, as if we were gonna do bridge. You're going to take your palms, the heel of your palms, very close to that crease in your hip where we hinge forward all the time. And you're going to press gently, very, very gently and slow on those thighs. As you do that, you may feel a little bit of traction in your lower back. Once you start to feel that little bit of stretch or traction in the spine, you'll take a few deep breaths and really focus on softening your belly as you exhale. We're going to very slowly, it's almost like you're coming out of water and you don't want to make any waves. You're going to slowly release the pressure on your thighs, and you'll feel, or you can look for the sensation of the spine kind of returning back to where it was. We're going to do that again. Take a breath in, hands are placed back where they were before. As you exhale, you start to press into the thighs and straighten the arms as much as they will straighten in this position. Less is more here. Looking for a sense of traction in the lower back. This also helps to open up the psoas, or those deep hip flexors. Soften your belly. Good, very gently releasing that pressure. Good. Now just pause here. Notice what your body might need. Do you need a twist from side to side, a little release from side to side? Just notice for a second what you might need. We're not going into Shavasana yet, but it's just a little pause, little intermission for you to listen to your inner voice here. Good. Okay. If you're finishing up or you're in the middle of something, please feel free to finish up. I'm going to guide the next set of movements now. So we're keeping the knees bent, feet on the floor, and we're going to release our neck. So palms are on the floor by your sides. You'll inhale the right arm up and back and turn your head to the left, connecting the movement to your breath. And then exhale, lower the hand back down, bring your head back to center. Make sure that hand and arm are fully connected to the ground before you start the second side. Inhaling the left arm up, looking to the right. And then as you exhale, come back to starting. Do this on your own. Make the movement really slow, linked to your inhales and your exhales. See if you can breathe in a way that you can hear yourself. Good. Do one more set on each side and then rest with your palms facing up when you're done. Good. And notice how you feel. Feel the connection that your back has with the floor, your shoulders, your hips, your feet. Feel yourself really planted into gravity here. From here, we're going to take our figure 4 stretch, or if you enjoy pigeon pose, you can take your pigeon pose. We're going to start with the right side. So the right ankle is going to cross over the left thigh. This might be enough for some of you, just to have your left foot on the floor, pressing your knee away. Or if you'd like to bring your left leg toward you and hold onto the back of your thigh, you can do that. Hips are always feel different from side to side, so you'll have one side that feels more flexible than the other. Keep returning to your breath and the sensations that you feel right now. Is there anywhere in your body that could let go around this pose? Go ahead and release this side. And when you're ready, change over to the other side. Good. Go ahead and release this. And then take your block once again and place it under your hips. So you do this from a bridge pose setup. Feet are on the floor, knees are bent, and just slide your block underneath your hips. You can stay just like this in supported bridge, which is a rejuvenating, restorative pose, or you can also bring your legs up one at a time. This has restorative properties as well, just helping to support the flow of your circulation back to your heart and your lungs, your brain, your organs inside of your brain, your endocrine system, all the stuff that governs how we deal with stress, our executive functioning, our mental capacity. Oh my gosh, all that from just putting your legs up. Planting seeds for well-being within your body and soul. You might even do some ankle circles or anything that would feel good to do with your legs. Start to bend your knees and bring them closer to your chest. Good. And then slowly, 1 foot at a time, comes to the floor. And slowly remove the block. And then go ahead and, if you need to do a little final twist or any release before you settle into Savasana, go ahead and do that. See how comfortable you can get with what you have. What's possible? So many years ago, like probably over 20, I was in a continuing education teacher training, and we were setting up for Savasana, and something the teacher said really gave me an aha moment. So I was set up for Savasana. It felt good enough, and she just kept saying, "Could it be better? What else do you need? What would make it better? What would make it more comfortable?" And I started making little adjustments. And I think at that time, I didn't realize oh, I could have it be better. It could feel better. I could do more for myself and not just settle for, I'm just laying on the floor till the end of the class. And it was really profound because it made me listen more deeply to my body. So I say this because when you get into Savasana, keep just checking in. Could I be more comfortable with what I have? What adjustment could I make so that I could rest very deeply? Because you're worth it and you deserve it. Even if that sometimes means staying seated or laying on your side or your belly. For spring, shimmering, radiant air, alive with new warmth, sunshine, waking the earth, calling the grasses to grow and bulbs to prepare flowers. Winds clear the remnants of seasons past. Old leaves and dry branches making way for new life. And the rain joins the sun to feed the land. Bless this day, God of seasons. Bless the spring with energy and hope. Be present with us as we celebrate the glory of creation, planting the land and our lives with your gifts, these gardens of holiness and love. God of time and space, may this season be a blessing and a teacher. Make me like the sunshine, a source of light. Make me like the earth, flowing with bounty, ready to give. Bless my days with service and my nights with peace. Make me like a garden, a source of beauty and purpose, sustenance and splendor. Ahava, verachamim, chesed, veshalom. Ahava, verachamim, chesed, veshalom. Love and mercy, loving kindness and peace. Love and mercy, loving kindness and peace, and peace, and peace. I invite you to bring your hands over your heart. May I receive love. May you receive love. Hands to heart and belly. May I receive mercy. May you receive mercy. Palms up. May I receive loving kindness. May you receive loving kindness. And hands at prayer. May I have peace. May you have peace. If you aren't already seated, please take your time rising up. And let us continue to spread seeds of mercy and love and peace and loving kindness in everything we do and every word we say. Let that be our goal, our intention. And let us close our practice with our universal blessing. May all beings have peace. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be loved. and may all beings be free. May it be so. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Shalom.